Assalamualaikum and good morning to our lecturer. Today we are presenting about intimacy vs isolation and identity vs identity confusion.
My name is Devi Safira, and today I'll be presenting about intimacy versus isolation. Erickson believed that it was vital to develop close, committed relationship with other people. While the word intimacy is closely associated with sex for many, it encompasses much more than that. Erickson described intimate relationships as those characterized by closeness, honesty, and love. Benefits of intimacy. People who are successful in resolving the conflict of the intimacy versus isolation stage usually have close romantic relationships, deep meaningful connections, and positive relationship with family and friends. This plays an important role in creating supportive social networks that are important for both physical and mental health throughout life.
Hi, my name is Asfa Hazim and I will explain about causes of intimacy. According to Erickson, intimacy occurs when a person close to someone or in love and being accepted who they are, especially begin able to share parts of ourselves or the other person willing to share their side with us. We might feel appreciated as we are the one for that person to share their stories with. For example, a love couple.
Isolation means the state of one who is alone. The major conflict at this stage of life centers on forming intimate, loving relationships with other people. Success at this stage leads to fulfilling relationships, while on the other hand, struggling at this stage can result in feelings of loneliness and isolation.
For causes of isolation, some factors are responsible for the higher risk of a person to become lonely or isolated, which including past relationships, childhood experiences including neglect or abuse, divorce or death of a partner, and fear of commitment, especially in relationship. Unfortunately, these kind of things create scars towards person's mental health.
Next, we will talk about the consequences of isolation on health. Usually, socially isolated people tend to have unhealthier diets, exercise less, experience greater daytime fatigue, and have poorer sleep. This can lead that person to a wide range of negative health issues, including cardiovascular disease, depression, substance misuse, stress, and suicide.
Hi, I am Shazana Nabila. I will present on identity versus identity confusion. In psychologist Erik Erikson's theory of psychosocial development, the fifth stage of ego is identity versus identity confusion. This stage occurs between the age of 12 and 18 years old during adolescence. Adolescents explore their independence and develop a sense of self at this stage. People go through a series of stages as they grow and evolve throughout their life. People experience a developmental conflict at each stage that must be overcome in order to successfully develop the stage's principal virtue. As for Erikson, he was fascinated by the impact of social interaction and connections on development and growth. According to Erikson, identity is a fundamental organizing principle that evolves continuously throughout one's lifetime. Identity involves the experiences, connections, ideas, values, and memories that make up a person's subjective sense of self. This leads to the growth of a consistent self-image that remains relatively constant throughout time when new aspects of the self are developed or enhanced. For identity confusion, kids who are not allowed to explore and test out different identities might be left. It can result them to, first, being unsure of who they are and where they fit. Second, drifting from one job or relationship to another. And lastly, feeling disappointed and confused about their place in life. Things one's identity. First, commitment. At this stage of development, resolving the crisis involves committing to a specific identity like committing to a job path, determine which social groups to join, and even creating a sense of personal style. Second, self confidence. Those who can create a strong sense of identity are more likely to have self confidence or faith in their abilities, traits, and judgments. Third, sense of independence. Those who are properly encouraged and reinforced via personal exploration will emerge from this stage with a strong sense of self, independence, and control. And those who are unsure of their own beliefs and desires will feel insecure and uncertain about themselves and their future. Lastly, fidelity. Successful people develop integrity, where a psychological virtue characterized by the ability to relate to others and build true bonds.
Hello, I am Anib Damya and I'll be presenting the next points for identity versus role confusion. So what are the causes that contributes to form a strong identity of oneself? Various factors such as friends, family, schoolmates, other social groups, societal trends, and pop culture play a significant role in shaping one's identity. A person will experience role confusion where they have to face lasting consequences in their life which are number 1, difficulties with commitment. This is said so because a person with a stable identity will be able to maintain better relationships with others. Number 2, worse mental health and well-being. Based on a research, it was found that a person with a strong sense of identity will have better emotional and psychological well-being in their adolescence. Number 3, weak sense of self. Well, conviction of oneself leads to a weak sense of self. Number 4, lack of confidence. The person will have difficulties in being confident in themselves as well as their abilities. To overcome role confusion, one can strengthen their identity by thinking of what they value, as this will help to solidify your identity. The core values refers to the things that we find important and meaningful to ourselves, which can motivate and guide our decisions. Spending alone time is also a step to strengthen identity by getting to know ourselves better. Alone self provides a space for us to focus and improve our sense of self alongside practicing self-compassion. With that, we will be able to understand and accept our flaws better. Lastly, how does one decrease role confusion? First, build on your strengths by identifying the areas you excel in and then taking the time to develop the strengths. Second, try new things to discover what you like. Give a few thoughts on your passions and interests. What are the things that excites you most? Take a step and give them a shot if you haven't. Third, make commitments and set goals. Goals that you would like to achieve in life, may it be in terms of career, health, education, or finances. No matter how big or small it is, the goals still matter. Fourth, participate in activities that are related to your interests. There are various activities being held from time to time, so why not tag along? May it be religious activities, sports, clubs, or charity events. Take the initiative to be a part of something that you find interesting.
That's all from us. Thank you for your attention.